Have you come to your senses yet?
Why are you here?
Geez, big brother, I have tried to sympathize with your situation, and I get that you're under a lot of stress, you know? Since your reality stinks like shit, I get that you might want to play around in the sweet depths of a succubus dream. But this is just going too far. You're not allowed to get involved with black magic. As the eldest son of the Lionheart's direct line, the man next in line to become the patriarch, how could you try and make a contract with a demon folk, and with something like an incubus at that?
I just couldn't help it. Ah!
What do you mean, you couldn't help it? You crazy bastard? Do you even know what happens if you get into black magic with a contract instead of at least learning how to use it with the proper method? Your soul becomes the property of the demon folk. You become a slave who kills when told to kill and dies when told to die. Do you think that this is a problem that will affect only you? Do you truly understand what will happen if you become a black wizard? The first thing to fall into the gutter because of you would probably be the family's owner, but that's only the start of it. What if the demon folk you contracted with told you to kill your mother, then your father, and finally your siblings? What would you do if he asked you to bring him the main family's white flame formula and all the treasures in the treasure vault?
He said that I wouldn't need to show him unconditional obedience. He said that he would treat me with proper consideration, that he wouldn't give me any impossible or irrational orders. That's what he promised.
Promise with that fucking incubus bastard. You idiot. Do you think that the demon folk are like the dragons or the elves? To them, breaking a promise is as easy as a flick of the wrist. You can refuse to obey his orders, as long as you're prepared to die, that is. But do you have the guts to do that? Could you disobey him if it meant that you would die instead? As if you could do something like that. You're just a bastard who can't even defend yourself and instead escapes into alcohol and dreams.
You, what the hell gives you the right to judge me?
Huh. Fine then. You think there's something wrong with what I just said? Then why don't you have a go at defending yourself, big brother?
You have no idea. Ever since 4 years ago, everyone has been paying attention to you. Since you were adopted into the main family, the patriarch has been raining down support on you, so how could you—
If someone else was listening to you, they might think you were being discriminated against. But you've also received a lot of support, haven't you, big brother? Weren't you also granted access to the ley line? And haven't you also inherited the white flame formula? Then, because you wanted to learn magic, they even sent you off to a Roth, and you were even given a chance to become the disciple of a tower master. Am I wrong? I've been getting the same amount of support as you, big brother. I'm not this great because the patriarch favored me over you, but it's just because I was born this amazing.
You're innately talented. It's impossible for me to compare to you.
I also put in just as much effort to become great. I bet I've worked a lot harder than you. Ciel and Cyan are also training their hardest back at the main family mansion. Alright, if you were able to sign a personal contract with Noir Giabella, you probably would have gotten pretty strong. But what would you do with all that strength? Do you really think that you'd be able to become the patriarch with the power of black magic?
I never wanted to become the Lionheart clan's patriarch. I wanted to become a black wizard and go to Helmuth. In a place like that, I'd be free, and my worth would be recognized. Ah! Ah!
What did you just say? Which do you think is better, being recognized by your family or being recognized by the demon folk? And do you really think they would respect you? I think you've got something mixed up, big brother. Without your background as the eldest son of the main family, you really don't have any value to them. There was no value in continuing the conversation. You can talk to Sir Liberian. Take him.
Head wizard.
Iode attempted to speak even as his body continued trembling.
I didn't do it. I haven't started learning black magic.
But you tried to, didn't you, Iode? You have tarnished the name of the Lionheart clan. You have insulted Sir Gilead, who trusted you and left you to my care. Also, you have insulted Samuel, who chose to teach you, and you have insulted me, who chose to overlook all your foibles.
No, I didn't intend to do any of that. I was just—
If you continue to make any more excuses, I will just have to show you the cost of your insults immediately. And I really am tempted to do so please, don't say another word.
Iode buried his head in his hands and burst into tears.
Let us return.
On the top floor of the Red Tower of Magic, along with Loberian, Eugene, Gilead, and Tanis.
It's nice to meet you. My name is Balzac Ludbeth.
He was a powerful black wizard who had been occupying the seat of Black Tower Master for the past few decades.
You dare sit here?
Tanis couldn't contain her surging emotions. IOD was her only son, the one who was meant to become the next patriarch of the main family. Her beloved son had attempted to learn black magic. Tanis absolutely refused to accept such a terrible reality.
Please calm yourself. This incident has nothing to do with the Black Tower Master.
What kind of nonsense is that? Didn't you say that Iode was tempted into dabbling with black magic? But are you going to look me in the eye and expect me to believe that the Black Tower Master had nothing to do with it?
The Black Tower of Magic does not hold authority over all the Black Wizards in Aroth. As for the Black Wizard responsible for this unfortunate affair, although we now know that his name is Gavid, he is not a member of the Black Tower of Magic. He is only a member of the Wizards Guild.
Still furious, Tanis attempted to continue speaking, but Gilead raised his hand to prevent her from doing so.
If you claimed that the Black Tower of Magic wasn't involved in this incident, why had Balzac insisted on being here?
The reason I'm here is to take responsibility for this matter.
Responsibility?
Yes, for tempting Iode into learning black magic and arranging such a contract. Strictly speaking, these cannot be considered crimes. Hundreds of years ago, just learning black magic would cause one to be sentenced as a criminal and executed. However, after the treaty agreed upon between the Great Vermouth and the Demon Kings was signed, learning black magic became a personal right. Though that might be the case, I hope to show proper regard to the Lionheart clan's stance on this matter.
I don't really like the sound of your words. It sounds like you're saying that, for the sake of the Lionheart clan's prestige, you're willing to bow your head in apology even though you don't really need to. Have I got that right?
Yes. However, I wish to take responsibility anyway, as a fellow Black Wizard, because I have no desire to lose the current amicable peace that we have maintained with the Lionheart clan because of this incident. Crimes involving drugs are governed by the law of Aroth. Everyone caught in the drug den will be confined in Aroth's prison.
Then how exactly are you supposed to be taking responsibility?
Baron Eoin Ulfear, the incubus with whom Gavid is currently contracted, and who attempted to sign a contract with Sir Iode to be beheaded, the Demon King of Incarceration has sent a personal message.
Eugene took firm hold of his body, which was about to react unconsciously. He held back his rage.
The Demon King of Incarceration would like to convey his immense disappointment over causing such distress to the family of his good friend Vermouth. As such, he declares that he will personally behead Eowyn Ulfer, and if desired, he can have the head delivered directly to the Lionheart clan.
His good friend Vermouth?
While this arrangement may not be enough to appease your anger, Lord Patriarch, please know that neither the Demon King of Incarceration nor the Black Tower of Magic have any desire to offend the Lionheart clan. Well then, I look forward to meeting you again under more pleasurable circumstances.
With this farewell, Balzac made to leave. Before he exited the room, he shot a glance at Eugene. Eugene felt this gaze. There was a short silence.
I'm sorry, Eugene. Could I ask you to step outside for a minute?
Yes, sir.
Master Loberian, I'm afraid that I've made a grave error. All of this is my fault.
Not at all. If I had only been more strict with Iode, something like this wouldn't have happened. My sincere apologies.
I will take Iode back with me to the main estate when I return.
We don't need to take Iode back home with us, do we? Iode he hasn't truly dabbled in black magic. He just made an attempt, that's all. Since he knows that he's made a mistake, he won't do something like that again. If we treat this as a lesson, then he might even work harder from now on. So can't we just...
In over 300 years of the Lionheart clan's history, there has never been a single member of the main family who became a black wizard. I will not change my decision. Even though Iode is my son, what that child has done has tarnished the clan's name. I cannot possibly allow the boy to remain in Aroth.
But what place is left for our child at the main estate? While Iode was off in Aroth, Tian and Ciel were busy winning the approval of the members of the main family. It was impossible for the Iode, who would return after causing a scandal, to obtain the main family members' approval at this point. You've done nothing to secure Iode's position. Instead, you've only listened to every demand of that damned Ancilla and her children, as well as that adopted child who doesn't even share a single drop of blood with you.
Do you really believe that? I have given my children everything they have asked for. I sent Iode to Aroth because he wanted to learn magic.
If that was for Iode's sake...
Tanis leaped out of her seat with this loud outburst. As she gasped for breath, she alternately glared at Loberian and Gilead.
Then you should have made sure that Iode became Loberian's disciple no matter what. And if you were truly worried about Iode going wrong, you should have sent someone to monitor and control that child.
Please, just stop. Please don't bring any more shame onto the Lionheart clan, and to myself.
Shame? Don't be ridiculous. If he returns to the main estate like this, I'll be the one who can't bear the shame of it all. I would much rather die than see that happen. If you're determined to take Iode back with you, then I will take Iode back to my family's estate. I would rather have him stay at my family's home, where he can learn magic without fear of being oppressed.
If that's what you desire, as long as Iode agrees, you may do as you please.
Sir Eugene Lionheart, can we speak alone for a moment?